Hey guys, in the previous session we installed and configured Oracle Linux 8.2 on VirtualBox. So on top of VirtualBox, we just mounted the ISO image and installed this virtual machine. So on top of this Oracle Linux 8.2, we need to further install the RPMs, which contains all the libraries and the prerequisite files, ODBC files and drivers for the Oracle database software to be installed. Okay. So Oracle database software should be having some libraries, and all those libraries should be linked with the Linux operating system, right? So for that we need a couple of packages to be installed. So in Oracle database 23AI, RPM installation and configuration is automated. So we don't need to manually configure the kernel parameters, limits, files and all these, okay? So there is only one command which will install and configure all the packages and the configuration files. So after installing these RPMs, then we will be installing the Oracle database free software. Since we still didn't get the enterprise edition, we will be using free software for our demonstration. Then on top of that, automatically Oracle database 23AI will be installed. Okay. So in the previous session we already set the host name in the host file. We added these entries and also we changed the host name with the hostnamectl command. Okay. So these are the prerequisite steps. First we need to clean up any existing installation. Okay. So we don't have any existing Oracle database installation because this is a new server. So there is no existing database running. So if there are any existing database running, then we need to uninstall them and clean all the files. Okay, so this happens in real time. So when we are having some test or POC databases, we may not be knowing that a particular database may be running on that server. So if we overwrite the software with the free, if there is an already existing free database running, then we cannot again overwrite the same with the by following these steps. Okay, we need to clean up all the existing installation files and then we need to install it. So 9 GB of free space should be there under /opt. Okay, so we already configured the mount point and we also configured the IP addresses, right? Make sure your system has a real IP address. So then we need to install the pre-install package. Okay, so we are going to use dnf utility. Just execute this command on the command line. So since we are using the bridged adapter, we are connected to the internet, so automatically if you see, all the libraries are installed. So these libraries are necessary for the Oracle database software to be compatible with the OS. Okay, so all the prerequisites are done. Okay, so now let us just check if we have Oracle user or not. Okay, so if you see this package, right, Oracle database pre-install 23AI automatically created this user. Okay, so previously this user was not there. So if it is not there, then we need to create this using these commands. But here it is already there. So automatically Oracle has created. The only step that we need to do is we need to change the password. Okay, just give some password as per your wish. Okay, so now after installing the pre-install RPM, we can directly install the software. Okay, so there are multiple ways of installing these software. Okay, what we can do is there is a pre-built virtual machine which is given by Oracle itself for 23AI free software. Pre-built means all the installation and configuration will be inbuilt. Okay, only we need to mount that VM on our VirtualBox. So there will be a .oa file. So this file will directly mount on our virtual box. We don't need to install and configure anything. Okay, but since for your educational purpose, I'm just helping you with installation of manual method. Okay, or we can also download the software, the zip file from the Oracle website that I had shown you. Okay, and then we can unzip it and install it manually. Okay, so this is the easiest method what I'm showing you. Okay, what you can do is you can just directly install this package using DNF. You don't need to install the software, install the database and all these steps. These steps need not to be followed. Okay, so now we can directly install the Oracle database software. So this is the package. Okay, so it says could not open. So what I will do is, let me just so you just need to remove this .rpm. Okay, so I will just update this file. So just search for this software, because the repository may frequently get changed. Okay, so that's why you need to make sure that you need to get the correct file. Okay, so you just give some wildcard keyword. So here I just took only this 23AI and just check what are all the softwares available. Okay, so if you see, we have Oracle database pre-install softwares. Okay, and we don't see the database software in M. Okay, so what we need to do is we just need to download it from the website. Okay, so since the database software is not available as part of M or DNF, so what we can do is we can directly go to the website where the software is available. Okay, so we need to choose the right platform. So this is the platform that we are using, Oracle Linux 8. Just click on link to download. So the download will start. Okay, so once the download is completed, you just need to copy this file to your virtual machine using WinSCP. Okay, so let the download complete. Once the download is completed, you can just copy this. So once the download is completed, just copy your software on your local drive to somewhere where you have free space. Okay, so you can just locate to that particular directory where the software file is downloaded. Okay, after that, just click on new session. Just type the IP address. So click on this new site and then give the username as root and password. Save it, login, click on yes, again provide the password. Okay, so here we'll be copying this software file to U01. Okay, just drag it from left side to right side. Okay, so once the copy is completed, what you can do, just locate to the particular directory where you copied the software file. Okay, so here you can just install this RPM. Okay, so this is the Oracle database software of 23AI. So now the installation is in progress. Okay, once the installation is complete, we can configure the database. Okay, so we have a separate script for configuring the database. Okay, so this script was already created by Oracle. Okay, so we don't need to modify anything inside the script. So this is a shell script which will help us in configuring the database. Okay, so the script automatically executed the post installation steps as well. Okay, and also it installed the Oracle Home successfully. Okay, so now we need to configure the database. So this is where the configuration file reside. Okay, if we just cat this file, you have all these parameters. Okay, and when you install this pre-install, right, so this pre-install, what it does is it just create the user, right? So we already seen that the user is created, and then it configured the kernel parameters. So where is the kernel parameter? So these are all the kernel parameters which decides the resource capacity, okay, related to the memory and network. Okay, so it is also not related to memory and network. There are other parameters as well related to the files. Okay, and there is one more file, security limits.config. So this file also contains all the user limits. Okay, so let us just go to the directory. Yeah, so this is the file. Okay, so in earlier versions of Oracle or earlier versions of Linux, the limits.config file was under this /etc/security. Okay, but in current Oracle database release, what Oracle did was it just changed the location from /etc/security to /etc/security/limits.d. Okay, there is an additional directory, okay, where we have this pre-install.config. Okay, so here if you see, we have all the limits. Okay, so here soft means lower limit, hard means upper limit. Okay, so this is the maximum limit for a particular resource to establish to open files or to open number of process. So these are related to the operating system, okay, which is linked to Oracle, right? So Oracle is the user. Okay, so here Oracle user can open how many number of files? He can open almost 65,536 number of files. So this is the maximum number of open files that can be used by Oracle user. There is a meaning of this. So likewise we have soft limit. Soft limit means it is the lower limit. So minimum 1024 files can be opened, and this is the number of processes. Okay, so likewise we have lot of parameters. So these parameters needs to be configured manually in the older versions. Okay, even in 19C we got this pre-install package, but in 11G, 12C versions and all, we need to manually configure all these limits. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this, so that's why I'm showing you this. So we don't need to modify anything. Okay, and also we need to disable SE Linux. So this is also one of the step, which is required. Okay, so here it is enforcing, so we need to disable this. Okay, so here you see three values: enforcing, permissive, disabled. So just make sure that you disable this, and also check the current SE Linux status using get enforce command. So I will just add all these steps in the document so that you can follow this. Okay, so it is enforcing, so we can just disable this. Set enforce 0. Now it is permissive, that's fine. We already disabled on the configuration file. So after we disable this, we also need to make sure that we disable the firewall. Okay, so these are additional steps, not related to Oracle but related to any security issues. Okay, so sometimes if we try to connect to this local machine from a remote system, we may end up with some errors. Okay, for that reason we are just disabling this, since this is a test machine. Okay, so if you see, firewall is also active and running, so we just need to disable the firewall. Okay, now if you see, okay, it is still active because we didn't stop the firewall, so we can just stop it. Yeah, so now it is inactive. Okay, so these are all the additional steps, not specific to Oracle, but these needs to be disabled. Okay, so now we installed Oracle database software, and also we installed all the prerequisite RPMs. Okay, so now we need to configure the database. Okay, so before that I also need to show you another config file. Okay, so this is the config file /etc sysconfig free AI config file. So this config file contains a list of parameters. So these are basic parameters. So it is similar to Postgres and MySQL. Okay, so in these kind of other RDBMS systems, we usually have config files which contains all the parameters. Okay, so in earlier release of Oracle database, we don't have this config file, but for this free version, Oracle has used this config file for configuring the database. Okay, it is kind of a reading this config file, okay, and automatically installing the database. Okay, so there is nothing which is related to the running database. So once you install the Oracle database, this config file may not be useful. Okay, this is just for initiating. Okay, it is under init.d, which means once the software is initialized, we don't need this config file. Okay, and every time whenever the Oracle database is started, this config file can be will be scanned. Okay, so now let us just configure the database. Just specify some password for the sys system and PDB admin. So if you see, Oracle is automatically configuring the listener. We don't need to manually configure listener, and then it will also install the database as well. Okay, so now it is just checking this config file, okay, for any parameters that are specified for the configuration. Okay, So now the Oracle database installation is completed. Okay, so if you see, after giving the password, it just progressed over, and after that it just created the database and started the Oracle instance. Then after that it completed the database creation, right? So database creation involves creating the data files, read log files, control files, right? So all these steps are automatically taken care by the script. Okay, and then after that it is creating a container pluggable database, and then it is executing the post configuration actions. Then all the post checks are completed. Okay, so if you want to see the log files, so you can just check this log file. Okay, so this log file also contains the same information. Okay, so the global database name is free. Okay, so now we have created the Oracle database for our practice. Okay, and you can also check the script. Okay, it is a bash script created by Oracle Corporation, and it contains a set of scripts which are required for the database creation. Okay, we don't need to modify this script. Okay, this is a static script which is not recommended to be modified. Okay, just for your understanding purpose, you can just check this file. So once we create the database, what we have to do, just check the Oracle home. Okay, so we need to log in as Oracle user. Okay, then set the environment variable. Oracle SID is free. Now check the Oracle home /opt Oracle product. This is the Oracle home. Okay, so Oracle automatically, this script automatically created the softwares and the Oracle home, which contains all the libraries. Okay, so all the Oracle library files are configured. Okay, so now we can just directly log into the database. SQL plus /s sysdba. Okay, database is up and running. Also, we can check the listener status. All the services are registered with the database. Okay, and we also have a PDB. So if you just type show PDBs, you'll be able to see free PDB. Okay, so it is in read write mode. Okay, so now we successfully install Oracle database.